Welcome to another episode of Monster Monday from the Ready to Die channel. This series explores the design of a creature I have built for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. The stat block for this creature can be found over on the Monster Monday blog, as well as the Twitter and Discord, all of which are linked below.
After what feels like a bit of a break, we return to the world of Monster Hunter to build the last of the three lords. You can find Garangolm over on the blog and Luna Garen as a video on this channel, which leaves only the malevolent Malzeno to build. A full-on Elder Dragon that fits fantastically into the coincidental coterie of creepy creatures we've been assembling this month so far. Malzeno appears as the big boss of the Sunbreak expansion for Monster Hunter Rise, and like each of the three lords, is based off a classic horror monster. In the case of Malzeno, it is based off a vampire and tries to capture their aristocracy and grandeur. Its design is based off a European dragon, but curios, parasites that resemble a cross between a leech and a bat, cling to its form, resembling a classy cravat. There is another version of Malzeno, the primordial Malzeno, which isn't afflicted by curio and a far greater physical threat, but that would likely be built as a different monster entirely. Like most Elder Dragons featured in the series, it is built at level 18 and makes use of the dragon trait. Wielding great physical might, the Malzeno uses an extreme strength and a high constitution, while only having a moderate dexterity. It has a low wisdom and an even lower intelligence and charisma. The Malzeno utilizes a moderate perception, as there isn't much of a reason to have it be particularly low or high. In its history, the Malzeno thwarted an even greater threat, but it is still a fairly simplistic creature, utilizing a high acrobatics and athletics as it demonstrates some nimble maneuvers and does need the latter skill for some of its attacks. On the defensive side of things, Malzeno uses a high armor class and a moderate pool of hit points, making it a fearsome foe to bring down. With these defenses in place, there is some concern in regards for its saving throws, but it felt right to grant it a high fortitude given how it survived the curio over the years. Reflex stays at moderate, as the Malzeno does demonstrate some surprising aerial agility and dodges. It settles on a low will save for the Malzeno, but there's something about this creature that feels like this bonus could stand to be higher. Based on its defense against thunder and Monster Hunter, the Malzeno also takes a moderate resistance to electricity. Malzeno's 3 attacks all use a high attack bonus and are mostly differentiated by reach and damage. The powerful jaws of the Malzeno deal high damage while having the shortest range. Its wings deal moderate damage, as there are surprisingly weighty swings behind these claws, and they have the benefit of reach. Finally, its tail deals a bit more than moderate damage, but also has the grab ability, as it has a fascinatingly dexterous tail ending in something that looks like a claw from a grabber machine. Malzeno has a host of horrific abilities to inflict upon its foes, and will start the discussion with Frightful Presence. Aside from being a fairly traditional ability of dragons, it is a great match with its vampiric aesthetic, but wasn't something initially included in its kit. It was only after a discussion in the Monster Money Discord that it was added in. As discussed under its strikes, the Malzeno can grab prey with the pincers upon its tail, and while it doesn't seem to use this particular strategy against hunters, it can fling other monsters with its tail. This ability is borrowed from Pathfinder's Tyrannosaurus, but the Malzeno has a unique combo that he can follow it up with, though that discussion will be saved for after this next ability. For 2 actions, the Malzeno can channel its energy breath and through the earth in blasts that burst from beneath in erupting vents, which are based off its ground slider attack in Monster Hunter. Lacking a cooldown, these vents deal damage as unlimited use area abilities with a high save DC, but the more important effect is launching people skywards with distances that are based off of the geyser spell. Between its fling and erupting event, the Malzeno has an ability based not on a feature from the game, but one to take advantage of all the juggling it does. Impale is a reaction that the Malzeno can use against a falling creature, snatching it out of the area. This might mean a Malzeno can literally juggle a creature, starting the turn with a creature grappled, fling it, impale it, and fling it again. But there is a penalty on this attack similar to the twisting tail reaction of green dragons. While it does have a creature grabbed, the Malzeno can delve into its vampiric themes and perform its pin from Monster Hunter by using Drink Blood, allowing it to heal while also draining an enemy. Which means a turn could look like a Malzeno flinging away its prey like a petulant child, realizing that it does actually want its snack and impaling it out of the air, then drinking its blood, before flinging it again. Sharing a close relationship with its swarm, the Malzeno incorporates into its kit with Curio Swarm, a 3-action limited use ability that forces an extreme fortitude DC in a sizable emanation around it. As the curio ravages prey, they drain their life energy, refueling themselves, but this doesn't restore the Malzeno. The energy drained in this instant mostly goes to the curio. This is also how it inflicts its blood blight, inflicting chip damage and reducing the effectiveness of healing, though its removal doesn't make as much sense for Pathfinder and was skipped over. However, the Malzeno can siphon off a portion of this life energy with Blood Rush to enter its bloodened state from Sunbreak. This is somewhat similar to Rage, but rather than granting Malzeno temporary hit points, it becomes quickened, representing its ferocity and playing into its Duke Dash, which is named after the same epithet affixed to Malzeno's weapons. In Monster Hunter, this is the Malzeno supposedly moving so fast that it looks like teleportation, but Pathfinder is a world of magic and mysticism, so this version of it is just full-on teleportation. The suddenness of it leaves creatures unprepared and therefore off guard to the Malzeno's next strike. The final piece of the Malzeno's arsenal is its detonating breath, which unleashes a beam that superheats the ground until it explodes. Representing this is a line effect that then blooms into an emanation. This is limited use damage on a high DC, and it was intentional keeping this damage to a single proc even when a creature is in both of these areas. In theory, they're meant to be the same area, just representing how it forms. But it felt fair having a penalty for creatures that are caught in the beam and explosion alike. A -2 may seem hefty, but given that the initial area is a line, it should be fairly easy to avoid the intersecting areas. It was fun getting back into Monster Hunter, even if it was jumping back into the deep end with an Elder Dragon. The malevolent Malzeno manifests morbid minions to maul men and monsters alike, menacing many with its macabre might. As mentioned, I stuck with the level 18 for this Malzeno, which is it in a weakened state after supporting the curio for so long. I'll likely return someday to take a crack at the primordial Malzeno, but didn't include it in here because it is a very different creature. Even still, this creature can serve as a solid antagonist, or might be fun to have as a pet for a powerful vampire. As always, let us know what you think of the creature and what others you might like to see in the comments below. You can check out the Monster Monday blog and Twitter for the stat blocks, or hop onto the Discord to join the monster making and general tabletop discussions. These posts also include a Pathfinder 1st Edition version of the monster, along with a D&D 5e conversion. Thanks for watching and have a monstrous Monday.